Welcome back to Seirei Chronicles, Anime Review, episode number 4. I've had to do this video again because in the last version of this video, my mic died a minute in. It just died for no reason. It just died. Let's talk about these two episodes. It's basically Rio discovering about who his family is. That's kind of what these two. That's the primary base of this episode. He arrives at the village in Yagamo region, which presumably is where his parents are from. So he asks one of the local girls, who is Ruri, and Sora, where asks basically if he can see the chief, and she says, "Oh, she's my grandmother." And he's like, "Okay, take me to her." He's like, "Sure, no problem." Brings her along, and of course they meet her. Her name is Yagura, and well, he reveals who his parents are, and it turns out his father's actually her son. That means that basically she is his grandmother. Though she reveals that Ruri leaves, so Ruri is actually revealed to be his cousin. Yes, her father was Rio's father's brother. So, and there's a secret involving of why they left. It's not revealed to the very next episode of what the heck is going on with this. So we just stay in the village for a while. They of course learn some hunting. Of course, meet Sura's brother, who does like Rio first, but apparently he basically just starts liking him afterwards. Basically, as a friend. So takes him hunting. Turns out he's a really good hunter. He actually hunts in his black coat he got a few episodes back for a reason. And then of course he comes back. Ooh, he thinks he needs a bath, so he uses his spiritual magic to create a bath. He makes that bath, and Ruri smells him. Oh, by the way, when they have the first day open up, when they have the very next day, Ruri comes out with her kimono partially open, showing off her breast, and part of her breast, and basically she's like, Ruri's like, can you cover please? And he's like, oh, because I have company, and she's embarrassed by it. Yeah, because in a way, Rio is kind of the first person to see her like that, who's a guy. Of course, she does not know at this point that's actually her cousin. She does not know. She does not know a little bit later. So, they make the bath, and of course, basically, they mention those attacks to come along with this harvest. And of course, the girls try it out. And then we have these buffoons show up, led by a name Gohan, where he is the son of another village chieftain. He's like, ooh, I'd like to use the bath and stay at night in the chief's house. And of course, basically, Rio, and of course, basically that, Suri's brother. Of course, he points out that the two look alike, even though they're siblings. And he basically threatens him. And then, of course, Yagura shows up, tells him to knock it off. You can stay in the village, but you have to stay in the guest hut. And you cannot leave the house until the very next morning. So they just pass by Ryu. It seems like he's about to kick Ryu, and Ryu uses power to basically cause himself the trip. And of course, he gives Rui this special amulet. And of course, Ryu probably suspected something when it comes to him. So, also, he basically really wanted to have sex with Ruri. He basically had as soon as he saw her, he really wanted to have sex with her. So he's like, by his buddies, ooh, our car broke down, we did that on purpose. Let's go over there and rape those girls. That's basically what he wanted to do. And he does. And he breaks the Ruri's... By the way, Sora stays the night, and of course, he attempts to sexually assault Ruri. But luckily, Ryu comes by, and because it was a trap, because he suspects this might happen. And then before this, Taxa comes by, and picks the harvest, and of course, they stay the night, and of course, he tries to bath too, and then he proceeds to beat the crap out of the guy. And of course, basically, Tax Cleric gets him to stop. And apparently, he has the authority to, because he's also a partial police officer. He arrests him on the spot for attempting to rape Ruri. And of course, there's plenty of witnesses, so he cannot wiggle his way out of it. And despite the fact he is a chieftain's son, his father is never mentioned who the heck his father is, except the fact his father is a chieftain. Well, his father or mother, who knows who it could be. So he's arrested. And of course, By the next morning, Rio does apologize for his actions, and Tax is like, "It's fine. I would have done the same thing because I got how much of a pig he was." So he's gonna be hauled off and sent to a prison camp, while Rio proceeds to go with Suri and I think Ruri too, where they go to the capital to also the tax collector is given this very special letter by Yagura to give this specific person in the capital who happens to be his father, who is a very powerful official who's not the king of the country. And when they arrive in the capital, I'm like, wait a minute, this looks like Edo. It's like feudal era Japan version of Edo, basically the feudal version of Tokyo. That's what this place looks like. A Japanese country. Like, that's interesting. So, excuse me. And of course, he's like, oh crap. Really? This is true? And of course, Rio proceeds to also prevent a kidnapping of a local princess. Which, how nice and doing. Of course, he buys Suri a hairpin. And it's implied Suri has got a thing for him, but it's not really explored here. So, then of course, basically, he's asked to come and, well, ask me with the king. And he's like, sure, no problem. And he's brought for the king and queen. And it's found out that the king and queen are also his grandparents, being the fact that his mother was their daughter and the princess. And the father was actually her body. It turns out his father was a very good warrior. He was given the title of warrior noble, and he was assigned as his mother's bodyguard. They, of course, fell in love, and from what I could tell, it seems like the father probably would have blessed the marriage anyways. If, in fact, that the warring kingdom prince was not a complete dick, and as soon as he saw the princess, he basically wanted to make her his, and so the plan was to have his attendant kidnap her and force into political marriage. Of course, Ryo's father steps in, throws him out a window, presumably kills him. So, in order to keep the peace between the two countries, Ryo's parents eloped privately and they fled the country. And of course, he does explain what happened. Now, what happened with his father, he died not long after he was born. His mother died when he was 5. So, they lived a very peaceful life. They met a man named Lucius, who was eventually knew their father. And then, of course, this man later murdered his mother right in front of him. He does explain in detail of what happened. Like, they're shocked the fact this happened, but they're very happy to hear that basically that the details of what happened to their daughter. And to show how much he wants to do revenge, just do some training. Of course, have a sword match with basically the retainer. And he wins. And of course, well, he does request that he get a chance to tell, basically someone in the village of his relationship, basically of his relation to her. And the king has no problem with this at all. Though then he proceeds to leave. He does not go back with the party. He goes off to someplace else. I'm like, does it even a letter or something? I thought this was kind of weird. That he just abruptly leaves like this. At least when he left the last place, at least people knew about it. This seems very abrupt. And it's over the course of these 2 episodes, but I would go in and basically see one last thing before he's hauled out to his prison camp. But these 2 episodes overall were really good. I thoroughly enjoyed these episodes, and there's 4 more left. Now, next up, basically, will be the next 2 episodes series, episodes 9 and 10. Now, I'm going to finish up the first season of the show, and then I'm going to do my 2 regular new anime, which first one's going to be a Freya, and then it's going to be Is There on Trigger's Dungeon. If I don't get a chance to do the second one, I'll probably do it tomorrow, because it's like one animation. Much harder to do that. So that's pretty much it for a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do another like button. Okay? Bye.